What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about thinking outside the box. Now, this is probably one of the most cliche phrases you will ever hear in this business. Think outside the box. But it's something that I fully live by because there's a lot of money in being different. Now, the reason why I'm making this video and the reason why I say this is because there's been a lot of people that hit me up on Instagram lately saying, hey, check out my designs, rate my designs, let me know what you think, check out my page. And there's a constant trend that I see. And that trend is everybody doing the same exact thing. Everybody putting the same sayings on shirts, everybody using the same fonts, everybody having the same look, and everybody's Instagram pages looking somewhat similar. Now, there's nothing wrong with being influenced by another brand. Maybe it's an established brand that you're a fan of or you look up to. So it's easy for you to feel influenced by some of their designs, by some of their marketing, some of their color choices, all of that stuff. Happens to everybody. Shit, it happens to me too. I'm a fan of Undefeated. Undefeated uses a lot of olive green, army green stuff. I personally love wearing olive green, army green stuff. So I always find myself designing towards that. Not necessarily because everybody that buys my stuff likes that color too. I gravitate towards that. So I find myself when I'm designing stuff or picking colors and all that, that's always in my palette. So I understand how that happens, right? But whenever I get caught up in something like that, whenever I'm designing stuff, first thing I do is I usually just walk away from the computer or the notepad or the iPad, whatever I'm designing on. I'll walk away. Leave it alone for a day. Then I come back with actual logic and I'm saying, all right, well, I like this, but who would like this? When I design stuff, I like to design for the end user. I say this all the time. My target audience is who I'm designing for. If you don't know who your target audience is, I suggest stop what you're doing and figure that part out first. Figuring out your target audience is key to the design process, to sales, to marketing, to all of that. Because if you don't know who you're selling to, you don't know who you're designing for, you don't know who you're gonna market it to, you're lost. So I like to make it easier on myself and know exactly who I want to sell to so I could design for that specific group. So making stuff relatable. I usually stay away from brand names, brand logos on the shirt. Why do I do that? Because if I'm a new brand, nobody knows what the brand logo is. It's very hard to get somebody excited and interested in a brand name or a logo they know nothing about. So the first thing a lot of people do is they try to make their brand name and their logo the center of everything that they're doing, which is cool. It might work for some, but I found that it doesn't work for myself. So what I do is I make designs that have no branding on it and no logos on it, and I make a design that's relatable to the end user that makes it easier for me to get sales and get attention and start building up my clientele from the start. Always think of it like this. If you're vending at an event, this is your first time there, nobody knows who you are, this is your very first time out in public with your brand. If you just had 20 shirts with your brand name or your logo on it, you're gonna spend your whole day at this event trying to sell people on the brand name. If you are the customer walking by at an event when there's thousands of other vendors there, how are you gonna catch somebody's attention to get them to stop at your booth and say, hey, you know what, that's a cool shirt, let me buy one? Instead, what you're gonna get is a lot of people walking past your booth, looking at it, reading the shirt, and keep walking. If you don't get the chance to get them to stop so you could sell them on the shirt what the brand name means, what your mission statement is, you're not catching their attention. So I personally like to create designs that catch attention, that are relatable to somebody without me having to sell them on why they should buy into my brand. You see what I mean? This is my design process every single time. Who cares about the brand name? Who cares about the brand logo? How am I gonna catch somebody's attention? When you've built up enough clientele, when you've made enough transactions and your brand feels established, then the brand name and the brand logo is an easier sell to that target audience because you have a built-in following now. You have loyal customers that shop with you already. You've already got their attention. Now they'll feel comfortable with buying a t-shirt with your brand name and your logo on it. When you're first getting started, it's a very hard sell. So when you're designing, think outside the box. Think outside of the brand name and logo and create designs that's relatable to get customers' attentions out the gate. It's just easier to make money that way. It's easier to get your name out that way. It's way easier to get people's attention with creating designs that are relatable to the customer first. Now, as most of you guys know, my marketing strategies are very, very easy to do. Just takes a lot of work, but it's also something that not a lot of people do, right? Whenever you look up social media marketing, the first videos that always pop up are about buying ads, sponsored ads, influencer marketing, and all this stuff. Shit that costs money, right? For myself, I'm a cheap motherfucker. If I can market stuff for free, I'm gonna see that thing through first. So far, it's worked for me for years, and I continue to do it till this day. Now, if you ever wanted to see that in action, I have it on YouTube already. I started a brand for YouTube called Leftovers years ago. That series is called Starting From Scratch. I show everything, how I thought of the name, how I funded the brand, all of that stuff all the way through. Packaging, everything's on there. I show the marketing, I show what I'm doing to get people's attention. I also show you guys using relatable designs for the end user, how I'm finding them, all that stuff. And that marketing strategy is 1000% free by utilizing hashtags, finding your target audience on social media, engaging with the customers. That's all it is. It takes a lot of time, right? It's easy to do. It's just very time consuming. Some people don't have the time. Some people don't want to put in the time. Some people don't want to put in the work. And I get that. This is just how I do things. So in my head, thinking out of the box, right? When everybody else is buying social media ads and buying sponsored ads and doing all this stuff, and that stuff works. But when everybody's doing that, it's very easy for the customer to scroll past certain things because they're constantly being sold on Instagram. They're constantly being sold on social media. Somebody's always selling them something. So as the customer, naturally you ignore those ads. You ignore being sold because you don't want to be sold on shit, man. You just want to get on there and look at some funny stuff or look at your friends' pages, see what they're up to. You don't want to be sold stuff all the time. So bingo, that's where my strategy comes into play. I don't sell nothing. What I do is I open up conversations with potential customers. I utilize hashtags, right? So if my end user is in a certain group and they're into a certain thing, I'll use that hashtag, find that person, click on their page, and then I scroll down and I'll comment on a random ass picture that has nothing to do with my t-shirts, that has nothing to do with anything I'm selling, and I'll just ask a normal question, right? Hey, that pizza looks good. Where's that pizza from? Has nothing to do with t-shirts. I'm not selling pizza related t-shirts. But I know using those hashtags that I found somebody that's interested in the same things that my t-shirts have to do with, right? So I comment asking about the pizza. That person looks at it and says, hey, who the heck is this person asking about pizza? Do I know this person? They click on my page to see who I am. Before they respond, they want to see who I am. Bingo. Now they're looking at 6 pictures, 9 pictures of potential t-shirts that they'd be into. Why would they be into them? Because I already did my research. I know they use this hashtag. I know they share this interest. How else am I going to get them to see my stuff? By asking a regular ask question. Like I said, it's free. It takes a lot of time, right? Because you got to look at the hashtag, find people, click on it. But whenever you click on these hashtags, there's millions of posts of people using these same hashtags. Why not use it for your own benefit? I've been doing it for years and it's worked out perfectly for myself. Once again, this strategy is thinking outside of the box because everybody else that's running a clothing brand or selling t-shirts is thinking, I need to buy ads. I need to do this to get into millions of faces. I'm doing this and I'm hitting up 100, 200 people a day throughout my day, not just, you know what I mean? I'm just hitting them up throughout the day and it's free. All it takes is me to click on a hashtag. Brings up a list of people using that hashtag, click on their page, comment on some stuff. General conversation, that's all it is. Makes things way easier for myself. Now I'm making my potential customers aware of my brand and my t-shirts that I sell without having to sell them on anything. Think like a customer, not like a business. This is something huge for a lot of people because we get caught up in thinking like a business that we forget what the customers actually react to. So use yourself as an example. What do you react to when you see ads? What makes you stop for the ad? What makes you scroll past the ad? That's all you have to do is if you think like a customer and understand what you react to, play onto that. That's the easiest thing to do. So if you're constantly being sold and you're now numb to being sold, so you casually just ignore all this stuff that you see in your feed, like, oh, this guy's selling me a shirt, this guy's selling me a DTG printer, this guy's trying to sell me Old Spice, this guy's selling whatever it is, right? You're scrolling past it and you're not even looking at the product or you're looking at the ad. You're not letting the video play because you don't care. How many times have you watched YouTube videos and skipped the ad because you don't give a shit about what's in the ad? Easy call. That shit didn't catch your attention. So fuck it. I don't want to see none of that. that, right? Think like a customer and not like a business when it comes to marketing. You'll find a lot of different ways to get your products in the faces of other people when you think that way. You figure out what you react to and you play on what you react to, and you stay away from what you ignore. It's very easy to fall into this, right? Because we're watching other people that run businesses on YouTube. Look, think about it like this. When you go on YouTube and you look up, t-shirts, custom shirts, printing shirts, whatever it is, 90% of the videos on YouTube about t-shirts is how to print the shirt. Here's a DTG printer. Here's how you screen print. Here's how you use transfers. This is how you use vinyl. This is how you put sublimation onto a cotton shirt or whatever it is, right? 90% of the videos is showing you how to print the shirt. There's a very few of us, just a handful of us, that actually show you how to sell the shirts and talk about selling the shirts. That's the important part, is actually selling the shirt. Printing the shirt and all that, the information's out there. It's everywhere. A lot of different print methods, a lot of different ways to do things. Not a lot of people share the information about selling shirts. I personally share that information. This is how I make my sales. This is how I market my stuff. This is how I'm selling these shirts. Because a lot of the people on YouTube that are showing how to print the shirts haven't figured out how to sell their own shirts. They're selling it to their YouTube following, but they're not necessarily selling it to some strangers like running a brand or shit like that. They're making shirts for their YouTube following. They have a built-in following already. You know what I mean? That's who they're selling their stuff to. And then they show you the Shopify printout like, man, look how many shirts I sold. Not knowing they're just selling it to you guys. You know what I mean? This is how I personally sell my t-shirts. It's not a secret. I share it all the time. I talk about it all the time. I encourage people to do this because it works for myself. Is this the only way to sell shirts? No, but it's an easy, free way that I figured out how to do and not a lot of people are doing. So why not share it with everybody, right? Thinking outside the box is the weirdest cliche ever, but it's so true, man. Like, even when it comes to your social media, right? A lot of people say, all right, man, I want to do a giveaway because I see a lot of other people do giveaways, so I want to do it, so it's going to bring more eyeballs to my page and whatever it is. And that's cool if you want to do that. But when everybody's doing a giveaway, a lot of times people don't participate in the giveaway because it's attached to a lot of other instructions, right? Giving away something for free. Tag 7 people. Do this. Follow these pages. Blah, blah, blah. And I get why they're doing it, but it comes with a lot of instructions where a lot of people are like, man, I've seen this before. I don't give a fuck. Or I'm not going to win. Or whatever it is, right? So when I seen people doing that, instead of doing giveaways, I was doing scavenger hunts around my community, right? So instead of just saying, all right, here's a chance to win some free shit. Say you guys want a real chance to win some free shit? Follow me. I'm going to show where I'm leaving the shit and you go pick it up. Now I see a lot of people do it. They call them stash and grabs and all that stuff. I got receipts that I've been doing this shit years ago. 10 years ago, I was doing scavenger hunts for my city and doing all this stuff because it was just when everybody else was doing something else. I said, damn, I got to try to set myself aside and do something that is going to be out of the blue for people. And that's what it was. So instead of just doing online giveaways, I'm giving away free shit, but I'm turning it into a scavenger hunt around the city so people could go out and get excited about it and then tell their friends like, damn, this guy's giving away blah, blah, blah. Follow this page because they're giving away stuff. See how that works? It's a slight change of thought that has a bigger impact than doing what everybody else is doing. Right? It's like the way that I get my clothes to celebrities and influencers is way different than what other people are doing, right? So other people will get in somebody's DMs and they're just like, hey, check it out, man. I'm gonna send you some stuff. I need you to shout me out. Can you shout me out? Can you do this? Can you post about me? Can you blah, blah, blah? I found way more success in hitting up a celebrity or influencer on some normal shit like, hey, man, check it out. I'm gonna give you some shit. Don't post about me. Don't do an unboxing. Don't shout me out. Don't do none of that. If you like the stuff on my page, send me an address and your size and I'll get it out to you. The cool thing about that is this gives the influencer or the celebrity or somebody the chance to check out your stuff, and if they genuinely like it and they send you an address and a size, it's because they actually like your products, right? So naturally when they get the stuff in, they'll do the unboxing on their social media on their own without you asking. You're telling them don't do it. You got to remember, they're getting floods of DMs of people telling them, hey, do this for me, do this, can you do this for me? Asking. And here you are, somebody else saying, don't do that. I don't want you to shout me out. I don't want you to post a picture of my stuff. I don't need nothing from you. I just want to give you something. And if they went through the trouble of looking at your page, seeing your products, then sending you an address and a size, one, they have a general interest in your product. They actually like the shit. So when you send it out to them, they already know your shit's dope because they seen it, they liked it. They're gonna open it up and show it or wear it or do whatever and then shout you out naturally. organically and naturally. All it took from you was to not sell them on the shit, right? Don't ask for nothing. You're not asking for no value. You're providing the value. You're like, hey, I just want to give you this shit. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, fuck it. That's how it works. That's how my brain works. So hopefully this video helps somebody out there that might be stuck in that same little funk of doing what everybody else is doing and getting lost in the shuffle. Take a step back, actually think like a customer and not like a business, and then figure out what you can do that nobody else is already doing. When everybody's going left, you're going right. To make yourself stand out and to give yourself a fighting chance to get out in front of people. You know what I mean? This is what I do. Hopefully this information helps somebody out there. If you already do this or you got any questions, leave it in the comments. Follow me on Instagram, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.